internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. I want to congratulate every single one of you that tunes in every day, that understands what's coming, because I don't think you guys understand the magnitude of this transformation and the magnitude of this wealth transfer that we are going to obtain. And this is not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. And that when is creeping up very slowly. And in today's episode, I mean, remember what I've said since the inception, Ripple could be working directly with the company or indirectly company in this case. I mean, the confirmation is right here. We already knew Ripple is going to be interacting with the DTCC and their $2.5 quadrillion. Okay, this is total value of securities processed in 2022. And I believe this number is about $2.8 quadrillion now. But the information I'm about to lay out right in front of you, so many people are going to miss out on this opportunity. And before I continue on to the video, remember, we are going to get this going on until Sunday. At the pace that we have right now, I don't think we're going to fulfill these orders. If we don't get enough orders on Sunday, everybody is going to get refunded just because the magnitude of the personalized text. You get to put anything you want. You know, you could put XRP is love or whatever you guys want to put. The current price of XRP, whatever you wanted to get personalized on the back of this pendant, ladies and gentlemen. The link is in the description down below. We have the gold, we have the silver, right? What you see is what you get. You're going to get the box, you're going to get everything. And something like this, it does not exist. And if you guys want to make your own pendant and try to get it engraving yourself, by all means, go for it, because engravings alone cost about $50, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are interested, the link is in the description down below. Personalized XRP pendants never will be personalized ever again. Each personalized pendant takes a very long time, and that's why we need a minimum order. If we cannot proceed with it, it is, again, it just doesn't work out. So let's get into something very, very monumental here. Sometimes the most historic moments don't make headlines. They get whispered in boardrooms and embedded in PDFs, and we lived to see it. Or it slipped into an interview that most people overlooked. But not us, because if you were, watching carefully, we just witnessed one of the biggest confirmations in the history of digital assets. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Nick Kerrigan, Managing Director of Innovation at Swift. He was asked, what are the biggest challenges as we move into tokenized future? And we've been talking about tokenization in yesterday's episode, but take a listen to what he says here.
What would you say are the biggest challenges facing the industry then as we move towards a more tokenized future?
Well, I think there's undoubtedly real excitement about the potential of this tokenized future. I've kind of said that we're in the digital asset space, we're kind of, to use a metaphor, ready for takeoff, which is another way of saying that in innovation, you classically see a sort of what we might call an S-curve of adoption. So slow start, then steepens as it becomes change that is being adopted and then gradually flattens off. And
wow, we're ready for takeoff. We're at the base of the S-curve for adoption. Ladies and wow. That's not just optimism. That's Swift saying that the architecture is in place. The world's financial system is about to enter a steep curve of exponential change. Tokenization isn't some future idea. It is now here.
It's the same for tokenization. I think that, many years ago when I've been at Ripple 7 years, I'm speaking to, large FIs, they were less open to looking at tokenization. Now the same FIs are inviting us in to kind of see what their strategy looks like and how they can implement that.
And the system we've been studying, Ripple, XRP, and the institutional corridors are already in motion. Now, here's where it gets serious. While Swift is laying the narrative, the DTCC, the US clearinghouse that settles almost everything just made, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ripple has been indirectly linked into the netting system of the FICC's Government Securities Division. In plain English, XRP's infrastructure is brushing up against $235 trillion in flow. This is the Fixed Income Clearing Government Securities Division. $235 trillion flow. That's the size of the U.S. Treasury settlement system. And you know when they say this is, again, listen, they're telling you.
For example, in our case, our focus right now is bringing $100 trillion worth of assets that DTCC is responsible for on-chain. Many folks here may not know who DTCC is and what we're responsible for. We're the principal record keeper for the U.S. financial markets.
This is all coming on-chain. And where do you think this is going to go? The deepest, most sensitive capital flows in the world. Netting systems at scale are not built overnight, okay? They are decades in the making, and that's why Ripple's digital asset XRP has, done what it has since the inception and remained at a very neutral price because they're building around it. And when the system's ready, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, Bitcoin went from $1 to 110,000, Ethereum from $1 to $5,000. Wow. I mean, you don't just plug into the system for fun. You plug in when you're ready to settle at scale. And the fact that Ripple's infrastructure is even in that orbit tells you everything you need to know, okay? And I mean, this is just, the things we're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, is just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. We're talking trillions of dollars. And now I know some of you guys might be wondering, how have you been doing this every day for this long? And that is, coming out here. How do I stay motivated to keep making these videos even when the price is low or the views fluctuate or people still call this crazy? Let me tell you exactly why. Because I know I'm changing lives. Because I know the smart ones are watching. And because every time I hit upload, I leave a permanent mark, okay? Something no one can take away. My digital footprint. You can delete accounts, you can lose money, but you can't erase the impact you've made on people's minds. Some of you have been here since the beginning. You watched, studied, questioned everything, and now you're not just hopeful, you're prepared, you're educated. You sift through all that noise that is pretty much we've been living through. And you know how to verify information, how to read between lines, how to connect dots that most people don't even see. And if I died tonight, I wouldn't regret a thing because I know I've left behind a community that can withstand the misinformation. I know I've helped build an audience that doesn't panic in the storm. They navigate it. You got to realize that success is not about what you accumulate. It's about what you contribute. And I'll keep contributing as long as I breathe because when this all takes off, I won't just be one of the people who profited. I'll be one of the people who helped you see it before it happened. And we'll be in this together, not by chance, but by clarity. So everybody stay sharp, stay humble. And remember, this moment we're in, it's not just history in the making. It's the foundation of what comes next. Okay, I mean, wow. It's, it's so crazy. It's so crazy and it's absolutely so crazy. We'll be back with another video.
They told us dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz. systems bend, ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold, and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute to the calm, to the wise. Salute 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. Value don't lie, and truth don't shake. Let the whole world break, we remake. Strategic reserve, written in stars. XRP gonna take us far. So here's to the signal, clear and bright. To the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight. Salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.